Daith da, how be knackin'? Welcome to podcast number 170. Christmas is getting closer, and normally I never have enough hours in the day, but it gets even worse this time of year because quite often I can do a bit of work in the evenings, but we out a few evenings here and there, and I need twice as long each day to get everything done. And for instance, like last Friday, I was so gutted. Now, Steve Burrows, we did his podcast the other week, and it was his 60th birthday. And he invited me down to his party, and I was gutted I couldn't go because he's a good old boy, Steve, as you know, as you would have heard on the podcast. But he also had a tribute band there, which was a tribute band of the Sex Pistols. And they reckon, I think John Lydon even said himself, it is one of the best tribute bands for the Sex Pistols that he's seen. And I've seen some videos, and they look brilliant. I always remember I spent one summer learning the whole of Stairway to Heaven. I learned the chords, I learned the middle bit, I learned the lead break as well. I learned everything one summer, and then punk arrived, and it wasn't cool to play like that anymore, and it was just back to three basic chords like Sex Pistols, Stiff Little Fingers, Sham 69. So that really that turned my music world upside down. But happy birthday for last week, mate. I can see you had a good one, but sadly I couldn't get down there. The weekend also was a busy weekend. Sunday morning, I was in St. Lawrence's Church for Interment of Ashes, and we were some lucky we dodged the rain because we've had a heck of a lot of rain in the last few weeks, which I do think is my fault because when we was out running about a month ago, I said to Beth, you can tell that we hardly get wet, so you can see we don't really get that much rain. And I think for the last 3 weeks, we've got soaked so often, but we did dodge the rain in St. Lawrence's Church there on Sunday. And again, we spoke about St. Lawrence's with Terry Gardner the other week because obviously he worked in at St. Lawrence's. Lovely little church, I must admit. We did manage just to pop up to Bridgeview on Sunday evening. Our mates up there, Martin and Myra Langdon, as a lot of you locals would know, they do put on Christmas lights every year, raising money for charity, and it just seems to get bigger and better every year. So we was up there 7 o'clock, and we have a little bit of music there. There was a little 5 or 6 I think it was members of brass band there, and Martin did a little speech, and then Chevy McIlroy was there because this year they're raising money for the charity The Perfect Hug. And she gave a lovely little talk about it. I mean, basically, it is for women that have suffered from breast cancer and that have had surgery and they're then recovering from the surgery. And the perfect hug is really these cushions that are made, and they're very good. They help reduce the pain, they support the healing tissues, and also they offer comfort. And it's a lovely little charity. So you can look up more. I mean, that's just a brief outline of what it is. But you can look up more, I would imagine, if you Google The Perfect Hug, on the internet. But go up there if you're in town, if you're from round here, go up Bridgeview. You can't miss it. And they have got a donation box there at the front of the garden where you can put in some donations. And I say they will all go this year to The Perfect Hug. Of course, for me, the highlight of the evening is that every year I get to sit on Father Christmas's knee. One of the best Father Christmases around, I would say. Our old mate, Stuart Robertson, in case you didn't know who it was. And he arrived on the bucket of a tractor this year, which from Nige Chapman, which was brilliant. And we do have a little photo. We have a selfie every year. He wears the same clothes every year, Father Christmas. And I normally do, but I did wear a different coat this year, which he did notice. So I'll have to go back to my old shooting jacket again for next year. Just going back a bit, actually, last Friday, we did have a family funeral, and that was Nora. So Nora's husband, Leslie, he was the first cousin of my father. Because, like I say, my gran, she was a Hodge before she married Sid Bray. And we had the service there up at St. Breock. Weather wasn't too good at all. We got wet before we was going in church, but thankfully for the burial in the churchyard, the rain had stopped. And I had the honour of giving the eulogy, which, looking back over Nora's years, I think 93 she was. So it's a long life, but all was well. And I say we didn't get too wet, thankfully. As far as this week goes, I've said it so often that we will have so many funerals from one area in a week, 10 days, and then it seems to move to another area. And this week, it's been mainly funerals for people that have lived at Camelford and Tintagel. We've had quite a few this week, and then next week, it could be somewhere else. So it's been, say, that area, really. And also Delabole with Adrian's funeral as well, which was quite a shock. Again, not that much older than me, but lovely crowd to that too as well. And then on Wednesday evening, we did have a little service, England Valley. It's their Christmas service. It used to be a Christmas carol service, but they didn't do carols this year. And it's quite a small, intimate little service there. And this year, they had the Dreckley Boys that was actually leading the singing, and they sung some brilliant songs. I'd never seen them before, but they were blooming good. I took my seat there and I thought, I recognise that bloke. And Jamie Rotherham was there, come in with his guitar. And I didn't realise that Jamie was with him. And he's actually taken over, would you call it a musical director? I'm not too sure. But he was there with his guitar, leading them all sort of thing. And it was good to have a good yarn with Jamie. I must admit, brilliant guitarist. I mean, we were talking about music earlier. Well, Jamie is a fantastic guitarist, you know, with heavy rock and metal and that. So, but this was a bit different. They did mainly like Cornish songs and that. And they finished with Cornwall My Own, which was brilliant. What made it even better, really, was that Harry Glasson, who wrote it, was sat there in the audience. So I could always imagine that would be quite touching to be singing it, and you got Harry watching it. Well, to be a bit of pressure, really, I would have thought. But I did manage to go over and have a quick catch up with Harry afterwards, and he's looking well. So that was lovely. But it was a really good evening. It was very good. Other funerals that we have conducted have included carols there down at St. Merrin yesterday. And today is what I would call a proper farmer's funeral. And this was for James at St. Irvin. Now, 'tis brilliant. I will put some videos on, hopefully in the next couple of days, because St. Irvin, if you don't know where it is, you want to find it. Put it that way. I would always say you go through Rumford, turn right at Doggy Post, and turn right and you're there. And basically, it's just a tiny little church with a handful of houses around. And afterwards, I was just stood there in the churchyard and you can't hear a car. 'Tis just silence apart from the birds. Really beautiful Cornish countryside. And like I say, there's no parking at all. So we had to, the family were so organised, they were brilliant. They actually arranged a park and ride from the farm to the lane that went down to the church. Because otherwise, I mean, there was hundreds there. It would have been chaos. I don't know where they would have parked. So that was fantastic. We had the PA system. We had the speakers inside. We had the speakers outside. And then we had a long wire going right across to the hall with speakers inside the hall as well. Dan did a booty job with that, I must admit. And luckily it was dry, which was brilliant. We did have a lovely service, and I think the rain would have really spoilt it. But yeah, all was good. All was good. So I think that's as much as I'll do. I'm trying not to go into like a running diary of every funeral every day, which I felt it was developing into that a bit the other day. So I just mentioned the odd funeral now and then, but I don't want to bore you with all the finer details of me day sort of thing. So we'll go over now to the second part of Margaret's interview. And again, 'tis a beauty. I'm sure you'll love this too. We had some lovely response last week, and then we'll have part 3 next week. So over to Margaret, and then I'll speak to you directly with all my Cornish bits. So here it is. So going back to your Lang's days then, was that always in the chip shop you worked then? It was, yeah. Okay.
Chip shop, yeah.
Because that was legendary, that chip shop, wasn't it?
Wonderful times.
Yeah.
Betty was the boss.
Yeah.
And brilliant. She was brilliant. I mean, we had fun as well as work, you know.
Yeah,
we were,
exactly.
It was Betty
Yeah.
and Lana Porkin
Oh, yeah.
and Rose
Yeah.
and Sheila,
Yeah.
Shirley Prescott. This was Shirley and I used to work together in the evenings.
Right, okay.
Begin with, you know, I was just evenings.
Yeah.
But then I moved to days. Maureen, Kate.
Yeah.
And then Saturday girls. One of them was Tracy Polkinghorne.
Yeah.
She was a Saturday girl.
Yeah.
There was loads of them really,
Yeah.
but Saturday girls. But Shirley and I, evenings, worked together for 19 years.
Did he really?
We never had a crossword.
No.
We used to. I'll tell you what we used to do, and this only came up the other day. Well, I worked with Effie first,
Right.
Betty's mum.
Oh,
in
did
the
he really?
evenings. Yeah. And when in the wintertime, Rob Coleman,
Yes, yeah.
Rob used to come in every Tuesday night. Well, I think he came in fish up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday night. When it got then, he was quiet and that. We'd go down bottom and play games.
Oh, get away.
Yeah, he'd bring in a game today. We'd go down there and sit and have a
Yeah.
cup of tea and play games.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
serve in between if anybody came
Yeah,
in. But
that's
it was
right,
so
yeah.
quiet
Yeah.
then in the winter. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we used to have some fun in Langs.
Yeah. Because Lang's was a big concern, wasn't it? They had so many
Yeah.
shops, didn't it?
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
had Rita was up the top on
Yeah.
the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Then they had national stores, see?
Oh, yes.
And Mr. and Mrs. Trott, or Mr. Trott was the manager there.
Oh, right.
Bill Trott.
Yeah.
Then they came up, see, and lived opposite Diana David.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she did. He died,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah. Then on the plaque was Gorday.
Was she Welsh?
I think she was.
Wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, yeah, then
And
Gordy on the plaque. Yeah.
The flower shop was Rose Bolt
Yeah.
and Palm.
Yeah.
And they were in there.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, fish shop was Betty and
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it
very
was,
big concern.
lovely times. Yeah, Langs was lovely. And
Yeah.
so many people used to come. Another one who used to come in a lot was Mike Yellen.
Oh, yeah.
Always stick up for us. He would have no nonsense. He wouldn't let anybody get on to us.
No,
He,
no.
you know, Mondays, market day, we'd get them all in for their fish and chips after market.
Yeah.
Oh, what was he called that lived up where Gary Bushen lives now?
Oh, Les Bay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Used
Yeah.
to come in.
Yeah.
And quite a few with him, you know, they used to
Yeah.
come in after fish and chips.
Yeah.
Had plenty enough to drink when they'd done it. you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
Oh. No, we had some wonderful times then there.
Yeah. We used to go down on Monday evening after ambulance and after cadets. We used
Yeah.
to come down and
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Betty, now, did Betty and Moira work on a Monday night?
I can't
I'm not
remember.
sure who worked on a Monday night. Shirley and I was on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And then every night there was somebody, well, Effie to begin with. Of course, she, Moira's mother-in-law, what's name,
Oh, Mrs.
worked there.
Alcott,
And
yeah.
Mrs. Alcott
Yeah.
worked there as well.
Oh, did she?
back
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I first met Angela Collop, when I went
Oh,
to
was
work
it?
in Nance.
Yeah.
She came in one Tuesday evening, I think it was, and was chatting away, and we was friends from there on.
Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she was at Lang, but that was George. Was he been
Yeah.
a cousin to Doug or something? Because he wouldn't have
Wasn't a brother, was it?
I don't, not too sure.
No, I think that could have been a cousin.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
not sure. He could have been, but I don't
No.
somehow think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because they were out late.
That's right. Yeah. So where did he meet Ron to?
Well, Downway Bridge.
Yeah.
Our first date, I go football.
Oh, get away.
He was playing football. Apparently, Jeff Thomas came in co-op
Right.
and said to me, "My mate Ron would like to take you out." I said, "Well, tell him to come in and ask me then." So we went to football.
Yeah.
That's
up
how
the
we
deep-
met.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
And then 6 months later, we were married.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
2 years later, I had David.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Because Wadebridge used to have quite a following I mean, the attendance was
Would go football every football match I went, we went to.
Exactly.
Even when the boys were little, I mean, I used to take them as well.
Yeah.
But before the children, we used to football, and then down Miss Glasson's.
Oh, right, yeah.
Always, all the footballers went there for tea.
Did they really?
Yeah. So that's how I met him.
So was he living out Rock then, was he, or no then? Where was he living?
You just came out the forces, Ron, hadn't you? You just came out the forces when I met you, hadn't you?
5 years in the forces.
Ah, yeah.
He was in the RAF.
I came out in 63. Well, we was married.
In 6 months.
Married within months, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because I expect the football team was pretty much all locals, wasn't it? I would have thought.
No. Sometimes I played. If they blew it, didn't play.
Right.
For any reason, it could have been me and 10 from Plymouth.
Get away.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Bray Chapman played with you, didn't they?
Sorry?
Bray Chapman played with you.
Late on.
Yeah.
Brian, before that, Brian was with Bugle or somebody else.
Yeah.
Didn't Jeff Thomas play?
Yeah, Jeff Thomas played, but not originally.
No, it was a lot of Plymouth boys, wasn't it? A lot of Plymouth boys.
Yeah, I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Because I knew later on it got like that, but I didn't realise it was so early. It was like, because when I used to go, it was like Roy May, Brian Chapman, Mike Yelland and all that there. So that was a bit later than you, exactly.
I started playing.
That was years on.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, no, it was a good gang, weren't they? The Plymouth boys were very nice, weren't they? Well, what's name? Ronnie Greig came down here to live, didn't they?
Yeah.
He lived up Westport by us.
Next door to us.
Yeah,
did he really?
Yeah.
He was wheelwright.
Yeah.
He's gone back up. He went back up, didn't he? After I don't know. I've heard from him for years, but more Truscott from down Newquay. More Truscott, No, lovely gang they were.
Yeah.
Dave Laney was, and Alec Brenton.
Yeah.
I mean, he was something to do with Argyle, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
I know he used to come down here for the kids to play football.
Yeah.
I know if David wanted to go football, they'd ring him and he'd get the tickets for him. Because he knew them, he got to know them. Yeah. No, it was all good.
So going back, growing up here then, obviously where would the nearest shops have been? Would it have been Camelford or would it be anything at Elston?
There was a post office out at Elston.
Right, okay.
But I don't know if there was a shop there. I don't know if it was just a post office.
I see, yeah.
Could have been a little shop as well, but I don't know. But no, we had to go Camelford for the nearest shop.
Yeah. Do you remember many of the shops up there back then or no?
Right in Camelford?
Yeah.
Well, there was Walkies.
Yes.
That was they had the furniture shop and the shoe shop and the drapery shop.
Right, yeah.
Treweeks.
Yeah.
Treweeks' was a china shop. Stevens's was down where the post office is now.
Right.
Was it Stevens and Son? They was homeware, hardware.
Yeah.
I can't think where Steve Erd is now. I can't think if there was a butcher's there. Up where the kebabs is it?
Oh yeah,
there. That was Eastman's Butchers.
Right.
Just down below there was where my sister worked. That was Margaret Hopkins. That was at hairdressers.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was in where the pasty shop is. And like Co-op was up where Co-op is now.
Still,
but it's all been redone. Down where John Parker, that was Walkie's furniture shop.
Right.
I think. And then John Parker went in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then down lower was Mrs. Treweeks. He had like a gifty shop.
Yeah.
I can't think who was in where Spar is. No, the shops were there.
Yeah.
It used to be quite a lot of shops.
Totally,
More than there is now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like school, did you have to walk to school then every day? Oh, you did?
Well, from here.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then eventually we had a bus from Elston.
Oh, right.
Go out to Elston.
Yeah.
Ride my bike out to Elston and catch the bus.
Yeah.
Up. We weren't walking very long.
No.
It was, there was a bus to go in and we picked us up at Elston and brought us back to Elston and I used to have to come in the lane. That was Webber's bus.
Oh, yeah.
Like I say, and then as soon as I was left school, I was I went right to Weybridge. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Margaret. Proper job. And we'll be on part 3 next week. For my Cornish word of the week, I think we'll go back to the Christmas theme. Because one thing I did forget, we did manage for an hour or so to get down Padstow Saturday evening. Because for 4 days they had the Padstow Christmas Fair down there. And we had a lovely geck around there. Weybridge Male Voice Choir was singing in the tent when we went in there. And I gotta say, the lights in the harbour this year, down Padstow and around the harbour, well, I think it's the best I've ever seen down there. Absolutely fantastic. If you're down Padstow way or out up North Cornwall way, you want to pop down to Padstow just to have a look at their lights. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And, of course, I was talking about Father Christmas earlier, Stuart Robertson. So I thought that's what my Cornish word for the week will be this week. 'Tis actually 2 words. Father Christmas, which is Tas Nadellac. Tas Nadellac. I always remember dear Tony Morton Nance, when we used to have funerals down Treadwell. Quite often I used to sit with him near the back because he was the chapel steward down there. And whenever he had the Lord's Prayer, he would always do it in Cornish. And it would always start, Agan Tas, our Father. So that's it. Tas Nadellac, Father Christmas. Now, for my Cornish saying of the week, or dialect, now, this is one that I've never heard anybody else say apart from my father. So I thought I'd do a little survey out there, a bit of research. If anybody else, Old Weybridge, ever used to say this. And basically, if mother or father said to me, here, can you pop downtown and get something? Like, get a little tin of nails or screws or something like that. Or perhaps say a roll of sellotape or something like that. And I'd say, oh, where should I go for that? Well, of course, the obvious answer would be for screws and nails. 'Twould have been mallets back then. 'Tis obviously up Dixie's now, but back then 'twould have been mallets. Roll of sellotape, something like that. 'Tis bricknals now. Can't think what it would have been in the past, but that was the obvious place to go for. And I don't know why you would ask it, but they'd say, here, go and get us some screws or nails. I said, where should I go for that? And Father's answer would always be Jeff Eddy's. Jeff Eddy's. Now, Jeff Eddy was the butcher in town. His dear little boy Andrew, he works with us now. But I don't know whether Jeff had a little black market for anything on the side apart from selling meat. I'm not too sure. But if ever I asked a stupid question, where do I get this or that or the other, Father would always say, Jeff Eddy's. Which I still do today, but my kids look at me now thinking, what the hell's he on about? Because dears of them, they've never heard of Jeff Eddy. In fact, Andrew Eddy is an old man to them, but there we go. So that's going to be me Cornish saying for the week. I just want to know, does anybody else remember any old Bridgers saying Jeff Eddy's? If you say here, where do I get so-and-so? It might just have been me father, I don't know. Right, well, that's it for this week, and we're getting very, very near to Christmas now, a couple of weeks to go. So next week is a manic week as well, but I'll endeavour to be here. So I'll speak to you then. Wish you well. Do Ganis, Curno Bisfican.